So, good morning and welcome everybody to today's webinar 5 conversion tricks that almost everyone is ignoring. And I'm super excited to be kind of the host of this webinar today. With me, there will be KonversionsKRAFT, known very well, especially in the DACH region, as well as Loop 54, known very well in the Nordics. And I got two great guys on the webinar that I would like to introduce you to. So myself, I'm Samantha Wettach. I'm the team leader for the consulting services department at FactFinder. I've been here for 3 years. Maybe you know me from some webinars in the past. So happy to be here with you again. And today I got the great pleasure to be joined by André Morys, the CEO and founder of KonversionsKRAFT, as well as Adam Jort, the VP of Customer Success of Loop 54. And maybe some of you heard it. Loop 54 and FactFinder joined forces recently. So Adam is my teammate, and that makes it even more exciting. So André, welcome to the webinar. Adam as well. Would you guys would want to introduce yourself? André, maybe you go first.
Sure. Yeah, I'm André. I feel like I'm doing this thing now for centuries. I don't know why. I founded KonversionsKRAFT back in 1996 with a strong customer experience focus. And I think it was around 2005 that A/B testing entered the stage and everybody was happy. So we could prove the value of customer experience optimization. So basically, that was the introduction of conversion rate optimization. We are not very happy with that term because actually we are not improving conversion rates. We are improving growth and revenue and profitability of our clients. But yeah, this is what I'm doing now since a couple of years. Yeah.
Thanks for the introduction. Adam, would you go next, please?
Yes, sure. My name is Adam Jort. Super hard to pronounce in English. It means deer in Swedish. I've been working within SaaS for the past 10 years with a lot of different clients. And as André said before, I think A/B testing is something that a lot of clients are talking about. And a lot of clients don't know how to use it, what to do, and so on. But everybody knows and understands it's important. So, super happy to be here today.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. So I would say let's go into the webinar and dig deeper into the topic we came here to listen to today. André, would you go?
Sure. Yeah. Can I click? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be
Is
working.
it working? Okay. If not, I can click for you.
We have to confess that to all the listeners there, we added everything into this webinar, which makes it more thrilling to us. I have videos in my slides. We changed control of the screen and mouse, and we have surveys integrated. So please watch and enjoy. We're doing all the technical hot stuff we could do. So I'm talking about simple hacks. Sorry for that, but each time I'm using an online shop by myself, I'm so damn frustrated about so many things. The people are spending so much money for technology, and then it doesn't work. So as I told you before, we work basically for some bigger e-commerce clients, help them to achieve their growth. Looks something like this. Is a typical example of a client that did not do A/B testing for 1 or 2 years. Then we started slowly, built the team, scaled it from there. Now it adds like 20% growth on top. So why am I talking about this low-hanging fruits? Because I think it's such a pure waste of time and energy of people, of money, and everything. It's just waste, So I don't understand it, and it makes me angry. I'm in this business now since many years. I still don't know why there are so easy to fix things, why they still go wrong. So I start with an experiment. So maybe guys look at this screen. Tell me where's the search, and then tell me how long did it take to find it? I mean, it's placed very well on top of the page. Gray typography, light gray on a little bit lighter gray search bar. So hopefully nobody finds the search, right? I mean, if you really want it, you get it. But it seems the app is more important. The present for new customers is more important. Of course, on the homepage, everything's more important. But the search, think about it from a strategical point of view. How much revenue does your search generate? And how much revenue do other things on your homepage generate? And why is there any idea to hide the search? I think because we have a guest from Sweden, I thought I present one of the biggest Swedish e-commerce websites. They're generating 52 billion euros online worldwide. 52 billion. Imagine how much of this is generated through search. How many people use the search to find products? So guess you want to use it. Where do you find it? I posted this on LinkedIn. Somebody said, I don't find it. Maybe this is a popsicle. Can you buy popsicles here on the website? I mean, this doesn't look like a magnifier glass even, right? Somebody thought, let's make it as much as statical as possible so people don't recognize it as a search. And look, I found some examples where it still looks okay, but it's more prominent. Look at Amazon. Do they waste any attention to not tell people where the search is? No, directly visible, high contrast, different color. Booking.com, I would say 50% of the page is search. The page is search. There's nothing else than search. So what does it mean? If you look at Amazon's history, you see that they've increased the size of the search by nearly 500%. It's not that easy to calculate because screen resolutions were different back in 1998. But of course, somebody found out that this is an important element. So what could you do? I don't want to show problems. I thought maybe I can tell you how to fix it. It's easy. Look at your analytics. Find out two segments. One uses that use search. The other uses the don't use search. Compare them. So, and as soon as you realize that you make more money from people that actually use the search, it's your job to make people use the search function, right? So if this is the case and the segment of searchers generates more revenue, then please make the search more prominent. Nudge people to use it. Make it bigger. We even made A/B tests where we added a little animation where something was typed into the search bar. So movement always generates attention. More people use the search because it creates more revenue. We could increase the overall revenue of the shop. If your segment of searchers does not generate more revenue, please call Samantha. Because then you have to implement a proper search, right? If you can't analyze, call us. If you can't test it, it's as easy as that. And yeah, I tried to visualize it a little bit. I mean, maybe it's enough. Yeah, just don't hide it. There's no sense in hiding the search. It's ignoring your users' needs. Okay, second problem that makes me angry. Maybe you can deduct it from the title of this segment. I made this little screen recording, me trying to buy shoes on one of the biggest e-commerce sites. So I typed in shoes for men, black, and I think I also added the size. I thought, yeah, size 46 or something like this must be the right thing. Enter 3,709 shoes. And you see 2, 4, 6. How can I shop I could process maybe 6, 7, 8 with a little bit of time. I could maybe analyze 10 shoes, but 3,700, no way. I'm doomed. It's not possible. So you as e-commerce guys, you should realize this. People can't shop from a selection of everything above 10. What do? Of course, you say, yeah, users, they have to be clever. So that's a user problem, isn't it? We have the filters here. You see the filters? Click on it. Of course I do. I add size because first I'm frustrated. I added the size in the search term, didn't recognize it. So I have to manually set the filter to 46. Still 3,600 shoes. Damn it. Need more filters. Next filter. I said shoestrings. I said black again. I said, yeah, and please, shoes, only shoes. So I drilled it down to 636. That's the end. That's the end. There are no more filters I could use that make sense to me. So how can I shop black shoes on this shop?
André, I think that this is actually super interesting because I think that from my experience, day-to-day business, maybe Adam has the same. It's already super annoying in an online shop. But when we think about a smartphone with a much smaller screen, it makes the experience even worse if people don't pay attention to that.
Exactly. You have to admit it's basically not possible to shop something here. I mean, only for people that know exactly which brand, which model, which shoe. I can type in, maybe I'm a big fan of Lloyd's shoes or whatever. I don't know. I'm not, but I could add a brand I know. But if I don't know a brand, I just want to look around. So depending on my maturity as a shopper, where in the customer journey am I? It's not possible to shop here. I would say 30, 40, 50 people, 50% of the people that come to this shop are doomed. No chance to go further. So what could you do? As I told you, nobody can do this. So first of all, you see the only way to get me to the right product is our facets and filters. That's the only way. And you have to understand, first of all, people don't want to use it. If I'm in a shopping mode, I'm thinking fast. I'm in an intuitive mode with my brain. That's normal. Everybody prefers that mode. Maybe scientists who solve a mathematical equation, they're in the other mode, system 2, which is thinking, which is not that fast. It's energy consuming, it's exhausting, it's slow. So, sorry, my phone. So people don't want it. So you have to make people, or what we say is you have to nudge them, right? Give them a little nudge and say, come on, use this filters, because you have to switch to this cognitive thinker mode and deduct your needs from what you want. You know, some people have a picture of what they want in their mind, and now you have to deduct the factors and enter it into a system. That's system 2. So nudging people always works if your search generates more conversions and revenue. So I have an example here down on the left that says, and sorry, it's in German. It says use filters and find your
favorite style. Yeah, even
quicker,
faster.
Faster, yeah. So this is something you could do. And additionally, pro tip, if you can't do it, again, call Fact Finder or Samantha. They can do that. I call it parse possible facets from the search query. So if I enter Größe 46, then please, the system should understand that this is existing as a filter, and the filter should be set. Or as I mentioned here, you could also make it as a suggestion. We think you're searching for shoes size 46. This is something where you could really make people happy. Third thing, price perception. Most people don't know that especially the search result page or any category page is setting expectations about a shop and the perceived price range. So this is the first thing where I have an experiment for you, and Samantha will show a survey soon. I first show you these 3 shops. So it's 3 shops. I was always searching for a Hugo Boss suit. No, not suit, a coat.
A coat. Mm-hmm.
A man's coat. This is shop number 1. Make yourself an impression. What do you think? Is this expensive or not? This is shop number 2. What do you think? More expensive, less expensive?
A bit more.
Don't bias people. And this is shop number 3. So, Samantha, I don't know. Now it's up to you. Maybe you can add the poll, the survey, to the screen. So please vote, guys, listeners. What do you think? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Which one do you remember was the most expensive? Which one did you perceive as the most expensive? I know you can't know right now. It's about guessing. It's about your perception, your intuition that told you in the first seconds, oh, this looks more expensive. So which one was the most expensive shop, or which one did you perceive as the most expensive?
So I think that all the people being in the webinar took their time. There's still some answers coming in, but I think we have a strong tendency. So let me share our result real quick.
Yeah.
So I hope that you can see the results.
Yeah, shop 2.
Number 2 is the most expensive. Number 1 is on second place, and shop number 3 is perceived as the cheapest one. Okay, and let's switch back. I can solve the riddle if your guess was right. So first of all, does it work?
I can jump to the next slide. Maybe it takes some time.
Sometimes, the click sometimes takes time. Yeah. So just to show you which shops, the first one was Zalando. And I find it interesting. I remember a couple of years ago when I made this experiment, people were able to identify Zalando as a shop, even if they did not see the brand, because Zalando used the orange a lot, and it was a strong indicator. Now they don't anymore. And you voted it as a second cheapest, or the second, the one in the middle. Basically, this is the most expensive. I just analyzed a couple of products. Same impression here on the top row. Products. Zalando, 800 euros. The second one is actually the cheapest one. This is Bräuninger. I don't know a brand. I don't know. It's not known in other countries, but I think in Germany it's very known. They make a great job. This is the cheapest one. Remember the results?
So shop number 2 was perceived to be the most expensive online shop, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And what do you think? How much does it cost? I know there's always the brand and marketing point of view. We don't want to look like discount or whatever. And of course, you don't want to look expensive if you are not expensive. So there are ways to control the price perception. I show you what without looking like discount. And Pick and Kloppenburg actually is not that cheap as you guessed. You guessed this is the most cheap shop. Looks cheaper, but actually it is not. So this is all. So let me reveal the principles behind that. It's about the amount of products you show. It's about the colors you use. It's about the price range of the first 3 products you show. These are like the proxies for price perception for the whole shop. And you can use this principle. So if the first 3 products set the perceived price range, you can use these 3 products. It was actually not that easy to find good screenshots now these times, because it's winter sale right now. So the first row of products is really important, and it's really important which products you're showing here. Colors, you see there's a difference between yellow and red and orange, and the size of these tags and elements. And nobody could know. That's always guessing. Always people say, we don't want to look like discount. No, we can't do that. We should do this. This is always gut feeling. If you don't use data from A/B tests to find the optimal trade-off, I guarantee you did not find the optimal trade-off of these different factors. So, of course, everything has pros and cons. So if you look at the number of articles, looks more aesthetical, the top version, more details visible, but implies good quality, but also is perceived as more expensive. For products, more choice, looks maybe cheaper. So it's up to you. But that's what I want to say. Please stop guessing and arguing based on gut feeling. Test your things and use data. Fourth principle, I call it preview. Imagine that I want to find a MacBook Air with 16 gigabyte RAM, gray, and it should be in stock. That's what I want. I need it Friday. So I want it now, right? So as soon as people decide they want something, they want it now. So now the job to find out which of these variations, it's about variations. I understand there's a MacBook Air, the different colors, the different memory options, it's variation. So I have to choose, click on each product detail page, change the color. Now the 60 gigabyte memory is not available anymore. Damn it. So I have to go back, click on the next MacBook Air again, scroll down, next MacBook Air, change the color to gray, look if it's available, and so on and so on. I think you get the problem. Basically, the job to find the right product, again, is on my side, but the shop could help me. So in fashion e-commerce, you know the principle of preview. That was the second video. Is it working? No.
No, but
Sorry.
I can.
No.
I can
Don't
share
worry.
the browser.
It's okay. I think people know the principle because basically, if you move with the mouse above a product, you see the variations and if they are shippable, if they're available. You see which is in stock and which not, which sizes are there, and which variations. It's very easy to use. In fashion e-commerce, it's common sense if you don't use it. And basically, what does this do? It does the job that I showed you right now on the MacBook Air. It simplifies it a lot, so it's easier to shop there. That's what we call a job to do, jobs to be done. I have the job to find the right variation. But if you switch to Zalando on the mobile version, it's not there anymore. So somehow, even if mobile traffic is 50%, just because the functionality is based on the mouse hover, and somebody said, well, on mobile pages, we don't have a mouse, so we can't do this preview thing. No, that's stupid. Of course, you could do the preview thing. Nobody's doing it. So I give you this hack for free, but it's very easy. Just add a little text link on your pages. I did it here. It's a secondary link, right? You say, that's my question as a shopper, right? Is my variation available? Click preview, and then you open a little table with all the variations, and you show which is available and which not. It's the same with the mouse over. Just you do it with a text link. It's so easy to not frustrate your users and generate more revenue. That's a win-win situation. And then, of course, because you don't have the unhover version, you have a little close button again. Test it. Maybe it's a risky thing to do, so you should test it if it generates more revenue. If it generates more revenue in fashion, it should generate more revenue with computers as well, because it's the same problem. And last one, illusion of control. We know that not all people are the same. So we are certified partner of the Limbic model, which is very known in Germany as a neuromarketing tool and a tool to create like customer types. And I just have these two examples of types. You maybe have what we call disciplined people, very organized, systematic approach. It's important that you use data and facts to make decisions, like this kind of mindset, right? So these people might be more fact-oriented, and they want facts, and they want tables with facts, right? And you have other people, we call them hedonists, so they like shopping, they like new stuff, they like to have fun. So maybe they're more convinced with a visual presentation. Maybe these people are also faster decision makers. So why the hell, if we have these different people, why the hell is the search result always the same? I mean, I think maybe Adam is talking about that. It does not have to be the same all the time. But in this case, it's always the same. Especially, I mean, I was searching for screws. They screwed it up, but it's 3,200 screws. What do you think? Am I searching the right screw from this gallery view of a search result page? Maybe not. And they look all the same. So just two examples of this kind of customization I like a lot. Here it's fashion again. Of course, different types of people. Some will prefer to see the fashion on the model. Some will prefer to see the fashion without the model. So guess what? It correlates with the personal demands and needs of the people. Or gallery versus table view. I don't know why. A couple of years, this was more common to use that. I find it a nice approach. This is a B2B shop. You're searching for, what's the English word for this? I don't know. Yeah.
That's a good
storage.
question. Yeah, storage is good.
Storage for your office. What's the thing? How do you select storage? By size, material, maybe color, price? Is the picture here important? Not at all. It's not a sweater. It's not a shoe. So of course, maybe you prefer the list view, but now that's disappointing. Still, you don't see all the important. I even see fewer things and still not the important information. If I'm fact-oriented, that would be a good way to get me. Anyway, you get the principle. Maybe this is not the proper name for the psychological principle of illusion of control because it's real control. Let people control what they want to see based on their principles. And it's important to understand their personality. You can't deduct everything from data. To understand people's needs and their personality type, things like this. This is hard to understand. So you really have to get into your customers' shoes and understand it. And then you will find plenty of ideas how to improve your customer experience as soon as you understand what their real job is and how you can help them to get the job done. So again, some of these hypotheses are discussed in the client's organizations a lot. So again, my recommendation is use A/B testing to find out how this works. And this is my final thought. I mean, these have been examples of how to improve it. Depending on the size of your revenue, maybe a couple of 100,000 or €1 million you can get out of the search. But that's not all. These are now just anecdotes, right? You have to build a system. So before I show you, I have another question. So I would like to understand how you currently use A/B testing. So it's about UX improvements. And maybe you know the situation that people are discussing. Should we this or that? So let's make an A/B test. And I'm very aware that not all organizations are the same. So maybe you can help me by asking or answering this question. If you already use A/B testing, Sam, could you pull the survey on the screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's see. Are you already learning and validating UX improvement with A/B testing? Let's start the poll. So we're waiting for your incoming questions.
Yeah, you need some elevator music during that surveys.
Maybe you can sing a song, André.
Oh, no, please.
I think people might leave the webinar if I start singing.
Thing I should do.
But we already get answers incoming. I will just leave it for a few more seconds. But yeah there's again a strong tendency.
Okay, that's good. But let's leave it open. So the more people vote, the better. You can
I think the majority is done. There's not a lot of percentage moving, but we got a great percentage of people that joined the poll.
That's good. That's good to know.
Okay, so let me share.
Yeah. Oh, no masterminds here. Okay, but maybe everyone is humble here. But good to see that a third of the people is already doing many experiments, although there's potential for more. Because the ones that do this, and this is why I framed the question, it's about learning and validating. You know, I now presented you, let's say, like 5 ideas. It's just an idea. An idea does not generate revenue. And many ideas, the fact is that like 20, 30, 40% of the ideas are not generating any revenue at all. Maybe half of them is even worsening your conversion rate. It's hurting your revenue, but you just don't know which of these are the good ones or the bad ones. So my address to the ones that don't use A/B testing or just a little bit, you can improve. So let me switch back to my slides and tell you what's the principle. So for most people, it's about, well, if I don't know what's the right solution, we make an A/B test, and that's the core. Can you switch to the next slide?
Yeah, it always takes some time once we have the polls.
Yeah. The principle, everyone wants this kind of growth. So this curve is growth, and everyone already understood that we need to be agile, right? A 1.5 year waterfall project is not working. We are not shipping anything, so all the competitors are getting better. So while everyone's getting better, we are getting worse. So this is basically the idea why we don't do that anymore. Now 20 years after the Agile Manifesto, everybody understood that agility is the core, the geometrical core to generate growth, right? So, and the shorter your sprints are, the faster you can ship something, the more growth you can get. So Agile is core of growth on the x-axis. But what about the y-axis? How do we make things really grow? Only if we have successful ideas. What does success mean? When are they working? If they're fulfilling a customer need, and even worse, if they're fulfilling a customer need better than the competitor does, right? So basically, everything you do something that your customers want, it gets better. If you do something that they don't want, it gets worse. So customer centricity is the core of growth on the other axis. So the third principle, and that's what most people oversee, they only know these two. In a digital transformation project, always discussion about agility and customer centricity, and maybe new ways of leading and working. But a crucial component is what I call here data-driven. So only if you know whatever you shipped, is it better or worse? Then you're able to filter the good ones from the bad ones, filter the shit away, only use the good ones to accelerate your growth. That's the role of A/B testing. We call it validated learning. And the problem is every time you change something on your website or your shop without validating it, there's a high risk that you maybe make things worse. We call it agile only. So many teams shipping, so much focus on speed and velocity, right? Velocity points, whatever, without proving, did it work? Did it actually work? So maybe you do something good, and for the next sprint, you worsen it, and you don't know. And basically, you have the same outcome compared to before your waterfall project. You just don't know it. So this is why I always ask, how many A/B tests are you doing? Basically, everything you ship, everything you change should be validated by an A/B test. And yeah, you have, I guess, dozens of hundreds of ideas in your backlog. So it's 3 core things you need to do. Analyze customer reality. I tried to show you a mirror. How do I use the search? Where do I see the potential of optimization? prioritize, always work with the good ideas first, put it in an agile sprint, and third, validate it. Did it really work? Learn from it. If it works, roll it out. If it didn't work, you need to learn more. That's it from my side. Don't know if we have some time for Q&A, but I think I used too much time. So thanks for listening.
I think it's okay. Thank you so much for sharing your great experience and insights, André. So I hope that everybody could take some learnings away, but I'm pretty sure, and it was a great perspective on how we can consider the target group and make sure that the actions that we take in the online shop are meaningful and support the revenue goals we actually want to support.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much. And this is also the place where I would hand over to Adam, because I think that Adam has a great perspective as well on search. So we were very focused on search. So the introduction, you could say, into the sales process. So let's see what Adam got prepared for us.
Thank you so much, Samantha. And thank you, André. I think I definitely agree with all your takeaways. I think A/B testing has been undervalued. It has always been undervalued, and the principle of testing hypothesis is super important. And I think I have something to add as a perspective to your presentation when it comes to this area. First, I just want to make a short introduction of Loop 54. We're a market leader within the Nordics in site search navigation, and we're also started working with recommendations pretty recently. We are around 30 people, but we were acquired of FactFinder recently, which made our company 5-6 times bigger. And what we do is an AI-based algorithm. And this algorithm helps our clients to increase conversions and, in the end, of course, the revenue and profit of the e-commerce store. And how do we do it? We do it by proprietary technology and a technology that understands context. And this is what's really, really interesting, because we understand that, as in André's example, the black shoes, we know which black shoes are more similar to other black shoes just based on the context awareness. So it's not based on the actual color, it's not based on the actual brand, but it's more of an understanding how products and attributes of products interact with each other and how they relate to each other. And we do this in different layers. And by doing this and using the events based on the sessions, we can actually create a better experience and a higher converting experience for our users and the clients. And the model is language agnostic, which basically means that it does not really matter which language it's applied on, because it's not based on NLP. It's not based on image recognition. It's based on context awareness and the actual products that are linked together by your users. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on why site search is important. André covered that quite a lot, but I think I have some perspective to add there also. It's important because it has a 3 times higher likelihood that site searching visitors finds what they are looking for. And what this means is that regardless of what type of intent they have, they are more likely to find what they are looking for, unless the search is bad, of course. But on average, they are more likely to find what they are looking for. And 12% of your visitors will leave your site for a competitor if your search experience is bad. And I guess everybody at this webinar can understand what this does with the long-term experience of the website. They will switch for a competitor indefinitely. Around 30% on average of all revenue can be attributed to search. However, this number is a lot higher with the fast-moving consumer goods, such as online groceries, for example, because you're not navigating through categories to buy milk. You're searching for milk, which makes it even more important. And a thing that I think I stumble upon all the time is that different solutions generate vastly different results. And it's not as black and white as many people think. It's not, do you have good search? Do you have bad search? There's all these gray areas in between. And these gray areas can be up to 10% difference in conversion rates. And in the bottom line, there could be 30 million a month that you're missing out in revenue just by having not maybe a terrible search, but you might just have a little bit worse search than your competitor. And that can make a huge difference. And I believe this is super important to stress. It's not black and white. You can always get better. And by using hypothesis testing and A/B testing, you can even get better all the time and doing it incrementally. And then, as I stressed before, the long-term effect of a bad user experience, that is something that is super important to note. And all these points together, I think this is one of the most important parts, but also one of the most undervalued parts of your search or site experience. You have all these tips that André is talking about, like UX-wise, but just having a search that works better can make huge differences. This is an example. This is a live example, actually, from a Swedish e-commerce site. They are selling all types of camera supplies. You're searching for lens, and you get batteries. And this is live, and it's been like this for 2 years. This is one of the biggest camera equipment suppliers in the Nordics, and it still is like this. I've actually raised this topic for their e-commerce platform, but it still looks like this. And this kind of tells you on like these big actors are still not understanding the importance of a proper search or a good search or a solution that actually works. And there are 3 main challenges when it comes to e-commerce. So first of all, transaction data in e-commerce is sparse. What this basically means is that you have a low share of power users, you have few interactions per user sessions, and interactions are spread over a very big assortment. For some companies, it could be up to the millions of products, and some products are never clicked. And what this basically means is that it's really hard to understand which products are actually popular, which products are relevant to a specific search query. And without the context understanding and context awareness, you can't do this. The second point here is that you're changing your product range all the time. Of course, this differs between different verticals, but new products are released, old products are discontinued, and you have a lot of seasonal changes, especially within beauty and maybe fashion, the vertical, that you have a lot of seasonal changes. So you will have new products coming in with no interaction. They don't know which products are popular. Of course, there's a lot of gut feelings, especially within the fashion industry, to my experience at least. But I think this can be done a lot better with data and AI. The third point I want to stress is that metadata in product attributes is noisy. I don't think we have one single client that understands that the product data is super important and it needs to be clean, it needs to be usable. But often it's not very clean. Often you have misleading product data, such as different data in the description compared to a summary or in the headline of the product. And just by applying a standard search solution, you can't handle this, because you might have information in the description that says this product goes to this product, and you don't want these search results to show up when you're actually searching for something else. So how do we actually handle this? So we do it with our algorithm, which is API-based and can be applied to anything. And what we do it also with personalization and session intent. And it looks like this. So what we do is we map the whole product range to understand which product relates to each other. And this makes it possible for us, without any natural language processing or any image recognition, to understand that lemons are closer to oranges than orange juices. So if you're searching for orange, you would expect to get results with all products that contains orange. But how many of these products are actually relevant for that session? Probably no product containing orange juice or any product containing orange marmalade are relevant. But by understanding context, we can actually show Oranges, of course, that's probably the main context that is relevant, but also that citric fruits, if they don't have oranges, for example, citric fruit might be interesting, or even apples, because you're probably looking for some kind of fruit. And in practice, it can look like this. So you're searching for a fan. It's not incorrect to show all products that contains the word fan. However, a human understands that fan in itself, you don't want an oven. You don't want a fan brush, for example. But rather, you would want any type of fan product. And by using the interactions of the users, we can actually link context to specific queries, such as fan. And then we would reorder the results based on these interactions. So we would reorder them on all products containing fan, but we can also show products that are in relevant context based on this query. So they don't even have to contain the word fan, but they are related to the product shown. And that could be, for example, air conditioners, which would probably not have the word fan in the description. But it goes even further when it comes to this. So André was talking about different types of sorting and facets and so on. But even if you're showing 600, 700 products, one thing you can actually do with this is you can personalize the result. And you can personalize the result based on that session. So what are people actually doing in this session? Yeah, they were looking for fans, and then they are looking for something else. And we can actually tailor the results to that session based on if they're searching for a brand, a particular product, and so on. But what we can also do, and what we're also doing for a lot of our clients, is we're using their preferences. So if we have some kind of login, some kind of ID on the client, we can actually base the results or adjust the results based on the historical purchase data. That could be they are always buying this brand. For example, André always wants which brand was it that you mentioned? What's your favorite brand?
The one that was not recognized, it was Zalando.
Yeah. So, and it could be also that you're always buying within a certain price range, and you're always buying this certain product type. For example, when André is searching for shoes, he's always buying loafers, for example, or he's always buying hiking shoes. And these are really relevant to actually tailor the result and also increase the amount of conversion, especially if you're showing a lot of results. If you're showing 1,000 results, but the top 10 are always relevant for the users, you will have a much higher conversion rate. And in essence, it works like this. So if you're searching for a phone, for example, we will actually have, our model will actually create different contexts based on this query. So it will rank these contexts against each other. So we will have, for example, in this one, we have 4 different contexts of products and the probability of them being the relevant context to show. And this is all automatic. There is no manual handling of this. This is all automatic based on the interactions of clients. And the model actually looks like this. So each and every dot here is a context. And here you can see also that they relate to each other. So here we can actually understand that, for example, an orange has, if you're searching for orange, you will have a hit in maybe 5 different contexts, but you will also have layers of context. And these layers could represent color, it could represent category of product and so on. There can be a lot of different layers that are applicable. And this is also customizable and tailored. And of course, you can also combine this with business logic, such as margin or stock levels and so on. And that's what's so neat with it. And when it comes to this algorithm and being able to apply it for fact-finding clients, this is actually being planned by the end of Q1. We should have something up and running to be able to test this and use this for fact-finding clients. And I'm super excited for that. I've talked to a lot of fact-finding clients that are super interested in getting this personalization up and running as fast as possible. And now we have time for Q&A.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Adam, as well. So maybe just for you, the listeners. So what I took away from this webinar and from these two great minds is that understand your customers and make shopping as intuitive as possible based on their requirements. And once they see your search, because you actually found a way of prominently positioning it and showing the right examples, because you also understand their search queries, look into what the specific customer needs to see. And so, yeah, if there are questions, please feel free to ask. And André and Adam, if there are things that you would like to add, feel free to mention. Thank you so much again.
Thanks for having me. I think basically what I could add is think in the dimension of a customer journey. And what I see is that most people inside e-commerce organizations, they have the highest maturity. They know everything about their products, their assortment, pricing, strategy, technology, whatever. So it's hard, if you know so much, it's hard to forget it and understand how the world looks like if you're a consumer that does not know all these things. And you maybe just have a slight idea what you might purchase, but you don't know what it exactly is. So you're on a journey from I don't know nothing about what I want to buy towards I know exactly what I want to buy, how much I want to spend for it, what are the specifications, and so on. And so between this journey, everybody that's inside the business is always focusing on this mature part of customers at the end of the customer journey. So we help our clients by analyzing the whole customer journey and like digging inside this part and uncovering some growth potentials in the earlier part of the journey, what you might not see because you're not able to see the world as you consumers do it. And I like the idea of Adam's tool to find out what people want by actually saving it in a way in a database how our right. So this is what our brain does as well. So it's a customer-centric approach to product database.
Yeah, no, it's something that I see our clients are. We have clients that have been clients for 5-6 years, and just understanding how this will also evolves over time, I think is super important. That like everything is changing, and the algorithm doesn't need manual handling to change with client behavior, and that's what's super important to understand. That you don't have to do anything to be able to adjust to the customer-centric approach. Of course, you can try things, and I think you should always test. You should always test different algorithms against each other. You should always test different types of sorting, and we're doing that all the time. But if you're not doing it, you're still evolving with the client and the customers and how they are acting on the website without doing that. And that's something I think is super interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks for the exchange between the experts as well. But yeah, I think your both approaches are super interesting. And especially that's also something that we say as Fact Finder and Loop is imagine being a customer, being in the online shop or a potential customer, being in your online shop the very first time. What would you want to see to understand it? Because if a one-time or first-time visitor understands the customer journey, then everybody else would automatically also understand it. Okay, so we got a few questions. One that I thought would be interesting. Whoever feels as if they can answer, please take it. Question number 1. Who has the best search for mobile you have ever used? Do you have some experiences of a search that impressed you on a mobile? Practice? Yeah.
No, I don't have one. I don't know you, Adam. I'm even disappointed from Amazon. Right, this idea to analyze a search term and find if it matches with existing filter categories. Amazon doesn't do it. I was disappointed. I thought if anybody understood the importance of search, then it's Amazon. But it's getting worse and worse at Amazon. I don't have a good example?
I have one example. I think when it comes to fast-moving consumer goods, we have a client group in Sweden and the Nordics that's super good, and they are always hypothesis testing everything they are doing. And I think they are on the way of creating a super good experience.
Coop, the grocery store?
Yeah,
yes.
Coop Sweden. Okay, so Coop Sweden as a best practice, so whoever would want to look at. And Amazon, I have to agree, because I think, they're doing some great things, but customer experience overall is not their strength. Their strength is just offering all products all over the world.
Not anymore.
Okay, then I have another question that I think is quite interesting. Maybe we can take it. When could you consider not having a B test, but could do a turkey change on site, so spontaneous? Are there any use cases you guys are familiar with?
It's easy, because anytime you can learn something from a change, do an A/B test. If you can't learn anything, then don't. So what are examples of things where I can't learn anything? If something's just broken. If it's broken, fix it. No need to do an A/B test. But if as soon as there are different options to fix something that's broken, and you need to, there's a value in understanding which one works better, then test it. Fix it maybe first, and secondly, do an A/B test. So that's why I ask about A/B testing always in the context of learning. Your strategic advantage, if you're testing a lot, is you learn faster than your competitor. So let's stay with Amazon. One best practice of them is testing everything, and since like 15 years. So they have a vast amount of knowledge about what works and what doesn't. And this is something, even if you try as much as possible, you can't win in this game. So they had this knowledge earlier, they tested earlier. So it's a high opportunity cost of not testing. This is why I always put it on the context of learning. It's a strategic advantage. Mm-hmm. So the only way not to test is if you can't learn.
Yeah. I had an example of this, I think, when I showed the Scandinavian photo. I would say that if search is working as bad as it is currently, and you're getting batteries when searching for lenses, you probably don't need to A/B test a solution that you know will work better.
It's obvious then, hopefully.
That's another saying, never fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
But sometimes we did A/B test just to find out what is the value contribution of a feature towards the overall value stream. And so we actually do A/B test where we remove something that's working just to see how big is the value contribution. Like recommendations, very easy test. Remove recommendations on a product detail page. Everybody will say, what? You can't do it. Of course, you don't run this A/B test with the overall 100% audience, but it's valuable to find out how big the actual traffic value contribution is.
The overall impact. Okay, so let's take one final question. We promised to answer all additional questions by email afterwards. So the last question is, does the search result depend only on product level attributes? Is FactFinder already using AI algorithm to bring search results to bring search results, or that's a plan for Q1 2022? So maybe I can take the beginning of the question and then Adam can add to it. The product level or the attributes that are available, so data is crucial and important. I mean, André already mentioned that it is something that we have to consider, we can rely on in order to make informed decisions. And the same was Adam mentioning that we have to ensure a certain level of quality of the data. Also, there are AI tools in FactFinder with which we improve the overall search result. However, when you want to consider the specific customer and their needs and their understanding of what is a fan, what are they looking for, considering a specific search term, this is, I think, when Adam and his team of Blue 54, working in collaboration with us, come into play.
Yeah. No, I think you described it good. I think that is what we're planning for the end of Q1 to be live and available for fact-finding clients. Yes.
Okay. So this was the last question. It's 11. So again, thank everybody. Thank the participants. Thanks to André and Adam for making the time. I'm really excited to working more with you guys in the future, and I hope that everybody has a great week. There will be a replay available of this webinar, and so make sure to check out our YouTube pages, social media, and contact us if there are questions, please.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.